It's one of the most infectious diseases in the world.
Spread either from animal to animal, by saliva, by manure, by other sorts of bodily fluids from the animals, or alternatively, it can be spread by humans if they are in contact with animals as well.
For more than a century, Australia has kept foot and mouth disease out of the country. But a new outbreak in Bali means that could be about to end, thanks to Aussie tourists. Dr Ross Ainsworth is a vet based in Bali.
That level of risk is increased by the fact that there are so many cows in the tourist area.
The disease causes painful ulcer-like lesions on cattle, sheep, pigs and goats. And the only way to treat an outbreak is culling infected animals and through vaccine. But in Bali, there's one problem. There's not enough.
It's being very difficult to bring under control without adequate vaccine. And you don't get a couple of million doses overnight, and so it's a pretty slow process.
While foot and mouth rarely infects humans, it can be carried on clothes or shoes.
In a piece of soil or organic matter under someone's thong, it might last safely for 2 days. So that's plenty of time for someone to go home and come in contact with another animal.
An outbreak here would decimate our already struggling farmers and cost an estimated $80 billion over several years.
But the important thing to note too is that it's not just agriculture. It is the whole supply chain. So it's about retailers, it's about processors, it's about freight movements, it's about consumers. And so at the end of the day, it's a huge hit to Australia.
And we know the devastation it can cause. In 2001, the UK battled an outbreak which cost the country around $22 billion and led to the systematic killing of more than 6 million cattle.
These animals will have to be destroyed, and it's the farmers that are going to have to do it. So you can imagine the mental anguish and the impact on these people. It's a really, really huge impact that I know had a huge toll in the countries where this disease has been.
The Australian government's already beefed up biosecurity measures at airports, with more detector dogs, greater scrutiny about what you're declaring, and biosecurity officers boarding returning flights from Indonesia. But is that enough?
There is danger from people bringing meat products that may be infected, but I think the biggest risk is not someone bringing a Bali salami and taking it home. It's more likely to be people coming in contact with cows and taking that virus home on their shoe.
But the government doesn't believe hosing travellers' feet before they enter Australia is the solution.
With all due respect, I'd suggest to the Minister that annoying some tourists who have to take off their footwear and have it clean to make sure that Australia doesn't get foot and mouth disease, then I think that's a pretty fair price to pay.
Everybody has to bear a responsibility here, from travellers to farmers to governments. We need everyone to play their part. You don't want to be the one to be bringing this disease into Australia.
You know, at the very beginning of the pandemic, when it was like just first a story about something that was nowhere near us, I thought, oh, this will be over soon, this won't be a big thing. I now hear stories like that and I take them way more seriously.
Yeah, absolutely.
As we should.
Bring down the whole industry, do the right thing.